Hey guys, what's going on? Hold on one second. Okay, perfect. Excellent. Okay. Hey guys, what's going on? Jason here, and I am bringing you another morning practice. We do this every Tuesday and Thursday, 6:25 a.m. to 6:50 a.m. And it started about a couple months ago. And the idea is every day we have a different practice, or every time that I go live, I have a different practice that you can utilize and, see if you find these tips helpful throughout your day. So, as you can see, today I have decided, well, I'm wearing all black, and this is a class which will be focused on Urban Zen Integrative Therapy. So if you have any interest, just keep tuning in, and feel free also. There's plenty of other videos, plenty of other stuff. So uh, today's video is you would like something different, feel free to check out another video. So um, what is Urban Zen Integrative Therapy? So about I would say a year and a half ago, I had the fortune of taking a training called Urban Zen Integrative Therapy. And this is a pretty incredible practice that that is about really creating a sense of self-care and developing a practice that you can do daily to kind of find more balance in your life. So the practice was actually created about 10 years ago, and it came as a result of um, a she's kind of a she was a fashion icon, and still continues to do fashion. And while her husband was going through chemotherapy and all of these different types of processes, um, she brought in all these different wellness providers. So as a result, he worked with all these providers, and this is really kind of novel at the time, being about 10 years ago or so, maybe even a little bit more than that. And and really, these practices assisted him throughout his process of receiving care. So after the training, he wanted to leave a mark and establishment of, what, after he was gone, he wanted to provide services for the nurses, services for the providers, services for the staff, because he saw that people that are working in hospitals, that are working in healthcare, that are treating these patients, they're going through similar types of issues themselves. I mean, they're people, they're human beings, they're going through normal, stressful situations. So as a result, this practice, it was the inception or the beginning of this practice. So a couple years later, when Hurricane Katrina hit, there was another event that happened um, at the Superdome, where a bunch of providers came together, and it was Reiki specialists, mindfulness specialists, essential oil specialists, and yoga specialists, and they all came together to serve uh, the victims of Hurricane Katrina. So after that, it really began to pick up some steam. And then now, so that was, roughly 10 years ago. And then now currently it's being practiced in different hospitals around the country. So just to give you that brief uh, understanding of what Urban Zen Integrative Therapy is. And I'll also put a link for it at the bottom of this video that you could check out. Uh, so that's the basis of how it started. Now, what it is, or how it's currently being practiced, is there's a model of about 8 symptoms that the program works with. So, and these symptoms are pretty common symptoms that we found that patients continue to go through. And as a result, these symptoms are being worked on all the time. So in working with any of this stuff, I just want to preface: it's always best if you have any questions or you're curious. Is this going to work for me? Always consult your physician. So. It's just really important. A lot of times, even though these practices are practiced at hospitals around the countries, it's still best for you to just consult and see, is this practice right for me? And ask your physician, am I able to do these practices? So that's really the best way to determine, if you're going through something and you're not sure, then just ask. And then that's a really good way to start and see if you can work with some of these practices. So um, the practices have a template of about 6 different symptoms uh, that are worked on during the session. So those symptoms are pain, uh, any type of pain in the body, anxiety, somebody going through a lot of thoughts in regards to what their physical body is going through, nausea, somebody's feeling sick, insomnia, so somebody is having difficulty sleeping throughout the night, constipation, somebody's having difficulty, their organs are not allowing for natural process to happen, and the last one is exhaustion. So as you can probably see, many of these things are common things that patients would go through in being treated at a hospital. However, the interesting part about these practices, and I actually teach these practices every Saturday in Studio City, so at Yoga Works, which you can check out. But these practices are actually being utilized as well for families, for providers, for nurses and physicians, for staff, and then also for people that just are typically in need of some type of reset. So that's a brief preface to what is Urban Zen Integrative Therapy. And then now I'm going to just give you guys a couple of practices that you could utilize on your own if you'd like, and see how these practices work for you. So the first practice that I would like to work with is working with the essential oils. So the reason, and I know I have a previous video on essential oils you're more than welcome to check out, with using a diffuser and how to use the essential oils. So feel free to check out those videos first if you'd like. But the essential oils are pretty incredible. I never used them prior to this course, and I really, frankly, I didn't even really know what the essential oils were. So when I became educated, I learned that the essential oils are these natural substances that are derived from the root of either a plant or a bark or some type of other type of bush, uh, a resin, and the the constituents of the plant are removed. So through a process of distillation, and there's several different types of distillation, which allow for the plant to maintain its constituents, or the constituents of the oil, or to remain intact while taking them from the plant. So it's a pretty incredible practice, which is pretty awesome. And once again, just make sure wherever you're getting the oils from that they're sourced from a good source. You want to make sure that they're sustainable. Obviously, if the company is running out all the oils and they're not replacing the plants, then that's not really a sustainable way. of getting the oils. And also is an oil called lavender oil. So this is lavender oil. And the lavender oil is often used to treat insomnia and anxiety. So another oil, which I'll talk about, and maybe this is the one I'll use, is this is called Stress Away, which is a combination of a bunch of different types of oils. It has copaiba, which is a bark from the Amazon. They're finding pretty awesome research in cedarwood, vanilla, lavender as well, and ocote. So I like this one. This is actually one of the ones that I use at work. So you can just take the oil, take off the cap. Uh, Thank you for watching. Awesome. So I'm just going to take off the oil. I'm going to place a drop in the palm of my hand, and then from there, just rub the fingers together, and then inhale the smell of the oil. So that's a really awesome way to start uh, with with using the oil. And I immediately noticed that these oils are allowing for me to drop into the a feeling of just calmness and relaxation. So it's different for everybody. Obviously, the oils for some people are not necessarily going to be as effective, but we use them in the hospital, and for a lot of the patients and staff we work with, they are extremely effective. What's going on, Keto Truth? I'm just talking about oils today. So happy to have you on the session. So in working with the oils, they're very effective. They're really easy to work with, and anybody can really work with them. They're not something that you have to feel like there's a barrier or separation in terms of using the oils. So feel free to check out the oils. They're awesome. And if you have any questions, just post a comment section in the video or in the link below. So the next thing I wanted to talk about is you're somewhere and you are experiencing, anxiety, some form of anxiety. I just wanted to use that one because I know that anxiety is a really common one that a lot of people experience. Um, awesome. Thank you so much. So if you're tuning in on YouTube, I'm also streaming on Instagram. So some people are tuning in on YouTube, some people are tuning in on Instagram. So I'll feel free to switch between both when people comment. So in regards to working with anxiety, one of the things that I wanted to talk about is how do we quickly diffuse anxiety? So anxiety is something where you have a lot of thoughts, you have a lot of stuff going on in your head, and you're not quite sure how to relax the body. So lots of stuff in the mind, body is not relaxed. So the first thing that we talk about is getting people grounded in their feet. And what does that mean? So one of the things that you could do if you're watching this video, either now or later, is you can extend your feet. So I'll extend my legs in front of the camera. And if I'm on YouTube, obviously I'll use my hands to show what my feet are doing, and then you could just press your feet towards the camera, and then bring your feet up, and press your feet towards the camera, and then bring your feet up. And my hands are just replicating my feet movements. Press your feet towards the camera, and then lift your feet up, and then press your feet towards the camera, and then lift your feet up. Very good. And then now we're going to actually turn our feet away from the camera and then bring our feet towards. And turn our feet away from the camera and bring our feet towards. And turn our feet away from the camera and bring our feet towards. And turn our feet away from the camera and bring our feet towards. And these movements, now one more movement is just bending your right knee and then extending it, and then bending your left knee and extending it. Bending your right knee and extending it, and bending your left knee and extending it. So, in just working with these movements, you may find already that your body is starting to relax. So, these are some of the movements that we work with in dealing with anxiety to help with this case of relaxation. One of the other exercises that we use, or one of the other things that we use with anxiety, is working with weights. So if you're in the middle of, you're stressed out and you're going through a lot of stuff, one of the things you can do, sorry, I'm just grabbing a weight right here, is grab yourself a sandbag or a bunch of blankets or something and just place it on yourself. So it doesn't have to be with cross legs. I have cross legs right now. For some people, this may be very uncomfortable, but just taking your eyes and visualizing the feeling of that weight. So when we work with weights, it's real. I mean, this is one of the most beneficial practices that we can do is in working with the weights. So you may notice the sensations in the feet. You may notice the sensations in the shins, and then the weight that's on the shins or the weight that's on the thighs, and then noticing the weight that's in uh, the legs, both legs together, the weight that's in the pelvis. And then feel free, if you're sitting up, you can just lie down for right now. So let your head lie down, let your eyes close, and then just observe the sensations in the belly, the sensations in the chest, the sensations in the lower back, the middle back, the upper back, the sensations in the fingers, the sensations in the forearms, in the middle arm, in the upper arm, sensations in the shoulders, in the neck, sensations in the face and the chin, sensations in the mouth, in the eyes, in the top of the head. And then lastly, moving down the body. So starting at the top of the head, once again, you're more than welcome to lie down if you're listening to this practice, noticing the sensations at the top of the head, sensations in the facial muscles, sensations in the eyes, in the ears, in the mouth, sensations in the neck, sensations in the shoulders, in the upper arms, in the elbows, in the forearms, in the fingers, the upper back, the middle back, the lower back, feeling the sensations in the chest, in the belly, and then lastly, noticing now the pelvis, the upper legs, the knees, the weight either on the shins or on the knees. Thanks for tuning in. Aquaponics, I did get your YouTube connection. Just talking about a meditation about grounding right now. So just observing the sensations from the head all the way down to the feet. And the reason why I have this weight on my legs is because the weight helps to, thank you so much, the weight helps to bring us grounded. So if you don't have time to do this while you're at work or while you're out, anytime that you can place a weight on your body, especially if you're having difficulty going to sleep or if you're up in the middle of the night, weight is really good for grounded. Thank you, Keto Truth. Awesome to see you. So weights are incredible for creating groundedness, and weights are also awesome because they bring us out of our minds. So you can get weights like this is a sandbag. You could buy a sandbag on the internet, or you could just take about 5 blankets. You could put weights on top of the blankets. Just be careful, obviously, if you're using like weights from the gym, that you're mindful, you don't want to hurt yourself. And then lastly, just move your attention from your head to your feet. So this is one of the ways, especially if you experience insomnia. Awesome. If you experience insomnia, or are going through other types of things, thank you so much for tuning in. We're just in the process now of closing out the meditation. So oh, thank you, Olga. So great to have you. So I wanted to thank you guys so much for tuning into the practice. I want to let you know this stuff, I really love to talk about it. This is one of my favorite things to do, is to share information with other people about how they can find more wellness, about how they can learn to become better in their life, to become better in whatever you're doing. So thank you so much for tuning into today's practice. There is a recap on YouTube, so if you missed most of today's practice, feel free to check out YouTube. If you're on YouTube, please hit the thumbs up sign, subscribe if you're not already subscribed, and then if there's any other videos that you guys want to learn about, or any other topics, thank you so much. Please feel free to share, because the way that all of this works is you guys are the reason why I do this. So please share whatever it is that you want to learn about. If you want me Awesome. Thank you so much, Keto Truth. Appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you, sir. And yeah, you guys have an incredible day. Awesome. Thank you, Justin. Excellent. And yeah, I perfect. Yes, I will definitely do something for you, VSG for life. I will definitely do something for you. So I'll work on that in my next video. And you guys are awesome. Thank you so much. Yes, yes, yes. And have an incredible day. This is what it's about. And yeah, I love you guys. Talk soon. And be happy. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you. Namaste. Okay. And straight.